kick up the rest of it from the shop. I know you'll hear me. I just got to key down everybody to hear me.
This is the everybody hears me frequency.
Hey, Dennis, I heard you. I did.
All right, that means I am on the right frequency.
Can I do an early check-in at 650?
You got it, sir.
Thank you. Have a great evening, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family from mine.
All right, that is coming up, isn't it?
10-4, Thursday.
All right, let me get started. Let me find the jingle singers wherever they might be, and then the Old Tube Radio Network will be. What do they say? The Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by OTR. Brought to you by 27.085 megahertz. Brought to you by RADI. The Old Tube Radio Network.
Okay, the Old Tube Radio Network here, trying to do stuff and make it work. Doing things a little differently tonight just because I had to change a few things around, so hopefully there won't be any really wild, wacky stuff. Notice that the S-meter's actually broken tonight, but I will still be able to see your signal strength. And hear you as well, I think. The Old Tube Radio Network, real radio glowing in the dark. My name is Dennis, the net controller for the evening of the Old Tube Radio Network, a voluntary association of people who are interested in old tube radios and things like that. Not a club, not an association, no dues, no secret handshakes. Just show up. Have a good time or not. No, you'll have a good time, I promise. And check in some radios. That's why we're here. We'll be talking to the shortwave listeners on the roll call. And I do believe that this is the new 8-week roster. I'm looking to see if they gave me some info for that. And I'm supposed to do, before we can check in 00, I need the 00. So who's got oh, thank you. Okay. All right. Way over out of the thing. And why is this in a cookie jar? Or cookie. We have Christmas cookies already? Who ate the cookies? All right, is this the... All right, this is all the numbers of those with perfect attendance from the last 8 weeks. And thank you, Bill, for putting that together. All right, I'm just checking to see if everything's working here. It looks... That is interesting. All right, let me grab one of these items of interest, and we will see who is... All right, is that 2 or 1? I think that is 1. All right. I break something here, and it is. How about this? I think this guy's done this before. SWL60, Joe, Mr. Hustler, who is out there. Let me put that so I don't forget. Joe, are you there? Over.
We're here, Dennis. Doggone it. This is awful nice. Yeah, this will be our 3rd time. Shame on the mess. 00, checking in.
All right, don't you wish that playing the lottery was that easy? But the thing is, there's, instead of 40 people involved, there's 40 million. So somehow the odds are different. All right, looking good. Thanks to Phil, Grandpa, for the last 8 weeks of checking in as 00. He gets to take some time off. He can do something else at 8 o'clock now. So, Joe, you're sounding good, and we've got you checked in.
Thank you. Hey, Dennis, Mr. Control.
This is Dennis, over.
Hey, 650, out here on the base. Pinedale Control is saying, can I do an early check-in? And I will be, hopefully, back out here twice as tough for Thanksgiving with the Hobo-Sam base unit up to stuff.
All right, we'll be looking forward to that. And we will have our up-to-snuff meter set to 11 to see if you can peg it when you show up.
Oh, I'll make it to 11 plus. Come on. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and I am out and reading the mail, stepping inside, drinking some more cold ones.
Sounds like a good thing to do on a Saturday evening, checking in some radios, doing whatever you do. I appreciate everybody that does get a chance to stop by. Going to check in SWL1, one of the guys that got this thing started off ever so long ago, and then head over to SWL number 2, the other guy, 9 pounds, good modulation, the old Tube Radio Network, back in a long time ago, when they said, we need a place to go. We need a place to go with our tube radios to get away from the noise and all the carrier hangers and act like it's 1965 all over again. So there we go. Anyway, Mr. OBP, thanks for listening and checking in tonight.
I think that'd be the high country, wouldn't it?
Well, what do they say? I'll take the low road and you take the high road, and somewhere we're going to meet.
Still for it, Dennis. Goodbye.
And hopefully, I'll be doing some adjusting here. I've got different things going on tonight, and I want to make sure that everybody can be heard, including me. Over to SWL3, SWL4, shortwave listener number 5, SWL6, SWL7, Mr. Ed.
SWL7 checking in through the noise.
Yeah, don't you hate the noise? I checked a few things, and I've definitely got some noise, but it's down on another frequency that doesn't affect this one, which is good, at least when you're on this one. So hopefully someone will flip the switch off. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks, Dennis.
Then we move over to SWL10, and I do believe that Idaho was beaconing in. Chrissy says she's got to get some ice cream dished out. Are we having ice cream? I'm ready. If it's ice, it's a little cold for ice cream, but you know it's never too cold. So Chrissy, get everybody served up, and we'll look forward when you jump back into the air chair. Over to SWL13. And let me see. Let me refresh the comments here over on the main page. We're streaming at oldtuberadio.net. We are on the air live on Channel 11, 27085 in the Central Valley of California. So if you are around or you're listening or waiting for the skip, that's what's happening. And we're also doing a YouTube thing that, you know, when you add pictures to radio, a lot can go wrong. So we'll see who is out there tonight. The contest going on, it's the sweepstakes. I think it's SS. I hear people saying CQSS on the ham bands. Joining us tonight over at .net, up in the balcony, hello to Waukesha, Wisconsin, Squamish, BC. They are up there doing the thing that they do. So stop by and see the Squamish boys and pick up whatever they're doing at the barbecue, popcorn, ice cream. Just go up there and say hello. Hello to Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Albury, Shinston, West Virginia, as always, Inez, Kentucky. Hello to you, Woodland Park, Colorado, with the beams beaconing over here to Central California. Newton is in Newtown. What's going on there this morning? Where it is 4 in the morning, 40 degrees and partly cloudy. So hopefully, I don't know. I've been hearing the European stations come in on 20 meters early in the morning. So I don't know. I don't think that works that way on 11 meters. Saint-Savoie, is that where we are? Let me check it. Let me see if that one shows up on the map here tonight. No, it doesn't. It doesn't like that location, but I know you're there listening. Canby, Oregon, low to Manhattan Beach, up in the front row, is always helping me out. Thank you for, and I want to know, I'm asking these guys, what happened to the cookies that were in the tin there? All you have is numbers. Thanks to, and Louisville, Kentucky, hello to you up here tonight. I think it's a guest. We have a special guest from Louisville. All right, I'm going to stop talking and start checking people in. We are looking for SWL 14. SWL 16 right there behind the monitor. It's, disavowing all knowledge of eating the cookies. That's how they get. I always have a empty container of something to put the numbers in. Thanks, Charles, out there in Anoka, where I bet it's getting cold. How about SWL 17? SWL 18. SWL 19. And Chet is saying, because normally I have the SWL thing that's the old M&M container, and I got the cookie bin. That's only a pound of cookies. I know I saw a 5-pound Christmas cookie tin around here somewhere. They're holding out on me. Let's go over to, let me get 19 checked in officially. There it is. There it is. All right, let's go over to SWL 20.
Al, number 20 here. Please check in 29 and 54. And I'll be back with this radio, and hopefully it'll... and then proxy me in next week, I believe, or all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, and will do. All right, sounding good. Radio sounds good. Got you checked in. Make sure I got X's in the square. And I want to mention that the Echo Link 23 Skidoo has managed to get the Echo Link up and running. Remember, there will be a delay, but it's node 354. 870 on your Echo Link, and I believe it will show up as in conference. So click on that. See what you can do. There's some people there already that we'll be chatting with here coming up on Echo Link. Thanks, Harvey.
Dennis, have you talked to Cliff 135 before the net started?
Yes, I have over.
So you know about the Facebook stuff?
The pictures, we have pictures available. It's just figuring out how to get them there and who's actually doing it.
Alrighty. Okay, that's good. That's what I wondered. Okay, well, I'll be back later.
Okay, and we will be here later and sooner. Page 1 is where we're at on the direct net roll call, first of the 8 weeks on this roster. SWL 21 JT out there in the South Carolina Wasama swamps, resting from another evening over at Old Radio Night, where what was the item of interest? I see a Courier Royale. Let me expand things out here because it never. Okay. Pimping ain't easy. Courier Royale, the pimp, 10-tube Phantom on Old Radio Night tonight for SWL 21. Let me see if I can't grab. There it is, a little picture of what was going. That is a beautiful, and there's the 12 thing. That is a beautiful radio. Let's see, do we get some audio?
Yeah, everybody say, got to see you before that edition tries to get you a brand new one. She said, ain't nothing wrong
Who's
with
that? Is that Crazy Man?
10-4. Bolts out in Boulder Creek, California. I didn't know they had a Boulder. I forgot about that. I always think about Boulder Creek, Colorado. I don't know if they got one of them or not. One of my sons lives in Colorado. I keep forgetting where he lives at out
Look
there.
at that mod light.
I talked to him on the phone and
that mod light is winking and blinking. Boulder Creek, I think it's up by, where's Boulder Creek? Up by Santa Cruz off Highway 17? I don't know. Anyway, beautiful radio. As always, check out Old Radio Night. It happens before this program. If you're on the West Coast, it happens, I guess, way before this program if you're not. But anyway, looking good tonight, JT, and we have you checked in. Over. Heading over to, let me make sure we got him checked in there, SWL 22. And SWL 23, I'm going to attempt, like I do a lot of times, and attempt is the appropriate word, to jump over to the Echolink link. I think it is up and running. We'll see what we get here in just a moment. KB6GFD, checking the Echolink link. And see what's up tonight. See if Mitch is in there tonight.
We've been trying to reach you concerning your vehicle's extended warranty. You should have received a notice in the mail about your car's extended warranty eligibility. Since we've not gotten a response, we are giving you a final courtesy call before we close out your file.
Nobody is
Press 2 to be removed and placed on our do not call list. To speak to someone about possibly extending or reinstating your vehicle's warranty, press 1 to speak with a warranty specialist.
You know what? Nobody is safe. It just, I don't even know what to say about that. I'm just going to add that to my list of people that want to buy the house and want me to get my warranty registration for the car. All right, Mitch, we will get you checked in. No doubt you're on hold and talking to one of the beautiful representatives there. All right. Well, at least we've made it back to the U.S. of A. on the Echolink. The link's at 354870. Next up is, you know what? I'm just wondering, if you actually sign up for one of those, would they stop calling you? Would they figure out to take you off of the list? How many companies do that? I bet you could probably sign up for 15 and never get off a list. SWL 24.
24, check it in.
All right, Joseph, hope all is going well. Welcome to the Old Tube Radio Network. Over to SWL 25.
Hello, Dennis. 25 checking in without the extended warranty.
Yeah, did you already sign up for your extended warranty over?
No, without. X-Nay. No extended warranty.
Okay, well, I thought, well, maybe that's because you've already signed up and they've stopped calling you.
No, you know what? I just block them, but you know what? They're very persistent. But anyway, there's a story, but it'd take too long to tell. Anyway, Dennis, thanks for checking me in.
All right, thanks for being there. Sounding good on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. And by the way, we will be having the glow-in-the-dark radios. These are the Class D 11-meter CB radios from the late 50s all throughout the late 70s that contain those vacuum tubes from our radio operators. So that's coming up. Or if you're watching the video, you can, right? And it's Tuesday. You can scroll through stuff if you want, but stick with us and we'll say hello to our SWLs. Want to say hello to those of us who are joining by way of the video tonight. South Carolina is in. Coming up to some other things. Private Store up there in Squamish, BC. Hello to Scranton, Arkansas. That's John, 102. Levon is listening in. We're talking 11-meter language here tonight, I think. Uncle Hairball out there in South Kakalaki waving 786, probably just off of a check-in from Old Radio Night tonight. Here's the window side beast, the 2NY157. Gonna be checking in soon, so we'll look for that. Also, who else is in that we don't normally say hello to? Popcorn 913 is up with the bags of popcorn and doing good. So if you're in your seats and you don't want to walk up to get some popcorn, 913 will bring it to you like he always does. Hello to Bolt, Bravo, Oscar, Lima Tango's also listening in. Captain Robert, good to hear you on frequency. And you've got surgery coming up. All right, it's good to have a date. It's good to know where you're going and where you're going to be. So we'll be keeping updated on that. And I think that's it. Let's see. Let's turn the page. Dwayne is saying, let's turn the page. Hello, SWL 27.
27's checking in live from Studio G.
Sounding good in Studio G. And here's the question which you may or may not be able to answer. When they're having a contest, like they're doing now, the CQSS on those other bands, do they contest on FT8? Do they do like a CQ test, or is that not a thing for FT8?
Some contests do. I don't believe that the one today is, though.
Okay, I didn't know. I just hear the noise. I don't have my deciphering thing up yet, so I can't tell from the little if they're CQing or saying hello or what they're doing. But you're doing fine here on the Old Tube Radio Network, and we've got you checked in.
Roger. Thanks, Dennis.
Over to SWL 28. And that, of course, is down, or is it up the road? Up the road a piece. Up in Sacramento. Saying hello to Gary, checking in. A few minutes late. I don't know. You're right there. I look up and I see Gary, and I'm going to put the X in the square, so I guess better late than never, but I don't think you're late. Also, getting Mr. Loner, SWL 29, checked in. Rocky Mountain, Virginia. Hello, Keith. Sierra Radio listening in tonight. We have not been having much nighttime, Skip. The daytime stuff is good. 10 meters opens up, 11 meters opens up in the morning. Sounding good. Some big signals. Starting to get those 20, 30 over signals coming in on channel 11 and down on channel 6. SWL 30. Hello, Dwayne. In Idaho. He's sitting by the Browning tonight, just in case the band opens up. Over to SWL 31. Waukesha. All right, thanks, John. Waukesha. The beautiful Lake Waukesha. Waukesha, as in cats. All right, is it Waukesha? Okay, he's trying to give me the pronunciation guide. They actually have that. It was an NBC pronunciation guide. Okay, let me see if I got this right. Waukesha. All right, thanks. We'll endeavor to remember that. Over to SWL 31. I'm thinking we have a San Joaquin, but it's spelled different. Maybe that's where I'm getting the wrong pronunciation for Waukesha. Over to SWL 32. SWL 33, Bozo Control, myself, everybody running around here. I hear the honking proboscis. Maybe it was, that's what they're saying. They're saying Bozo finished off the cookies. That's why we have Bozo around. He's a good scapegoat. If there's a problem, we'll blame it on Bozo. Over to SWL 34. Mr. Railroaders will be in probably soon out there in Batavia. Over to SWL 35. Let me see if indeed Mr. Bill checking in from Cool Cheyenne, Wyoming, with an X in the square. Let's give an ovation for Red Monkey Communications, doing their thing mobile now, out there in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and all places beyond. And one of the reasons a lot of the stations that you hear checking in, a lot of the radios that you're checking in are thanks to Mr. Bill and the gang over there at Red Monkey that keeps them on the air. All right, where do we head? We're heading over to Arizona, and I have not been up on Facebook at all this week to see if Jerry has been what he's been doing on the radios, because normally I have a great picture to share. So I will check that. So. Jerry, if you're listening, we got you checked in out of Oh, you know what? You're on Echolink. Hold on a second. We're going to fire up the Echolink. Don't go away.
I talked to him yesterday on the phone. Go for it.
All right. Let me get things proper here. KB6GFD. We are looking for WR5G, if I can read my handwriting, and it's right in front of me there. Hello, Jerry, over.
Yeah, WR5G. Well, good evening, Dennis, and everybody in the group tonight. I've been busy this week, so I haven't been able to work on or do any radio work, so you won't see anything on Facebook from me this week. But I do have a couple of radios lined up for next week, so you should see something from me next week. And actually, the two radios are like the one over your left shoulder. I have a couple of old Johnson Messenger 223s that I will be pulling out next week and doing some work on. So anyway, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and next week you should see some new pictures from me. So I'll turn it back over to you, Dennis. Look forward to hearing all of the old two-top radios later on tonight. WR5G.
All right, Jerry, very good. Yeah, I was busy as well, and I wasn't checking Facebook out because I know I would have missed some pictures had they been there. The Johnson radios, good receivers, great transmitters, so should have fun with that. Those can be set up quite nice, and you always do a good job, and the radios always looking beautiful. So thanks for that. Thanks for checking in with us on the Old Tube Radio Network, and have a great rest of your evening. KB6 GFD.
I thought you said Gary in Arizona.
Okay, I thought I saw Arizona in there. Let me get my volumes back up where they need to go. I'll get back to the studio here. 36 is in. And next we got SWL 37.
37 here, Dennis, and good evening.
All right, good evening. You are sounding good, and I will get you checked in. I don't know if it's movie night tonight, but we will be checking in radios, as you know.
It's always movie night, but I always make time.
All right, and we appreciate that. We appreciate everybody jumps in here and makes the Old Tube Radio Network what it is. That's why we're still here, because people have radios and they check in. Over to SWL 38. SWL 39. Did I hear Dan? Hello, 39. Am I just hearing things, or are you out there? Over. All right, I must be hearing stuff. Let's go to SWL 40. SWL 41. Road Dog 507 is checking in to International Sideband 507. The 2NY 507. That's what I saw before. Out of Hudson Valley, saying happy Thanksgiving to all the SWLs and Old Tube radio operators, and be safe. Indeed. All right. Looking good out of New York, where it's later than you think. Let's see, also joining us up in the balcony, San Bernardino. Hello, San Bernardino. Just checking things out. Let's go to SWL 42. SWL 43. And a proxy for 43. SWL 44. And if you're out there, Paul, can you hear me? SWL 45.
45.
Yeah, I can hear you, Paul. You're a little down, but you are making it through my noise level. Over.
The noise up here is tremendously bad. Anyway, let me do it. That's good.
Okay, and I'm doing things different. I may not have my typical signal that I normally have, so apologies for that, but you're sounding good here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Over to SWL 46. Shortwave listener 47.
Good evening from the Lounge of Radios. This is SWL 47.
The Lounge of Radios, sounding good, and got your, what are they at the lounge? You got your 1959 stereo fired up, and you've got the martini, and you're ready to go.
Oh, absolutely. It's quite toasting here thanks to the convection cooling of these delightful radios.
Yeah, it's keeping me warm here. I can feel the heat. I can feel heat coming through the racks. I've got a fan blowing. I should be blowing that way, but it's blowing the heat out towards me, which is the wrong way to do it. All right, you're sounding good. Let's see. Let's go over to SWL 48. SWL 49. Tube radios are heading your way, so don't go away. SWL 50.
50 here, checking in.
Hey, you're looking good on my roster. Excellent square. Thanks, Mark. SWL 51. And I saw Dave, 305, and Sanger. I think he was on the video. He was somewhere, or he's on one of my pages here, checking in. So make sure that Dave out of Sanger gets the X in the square. Over to SWL 52. SWL 53.
Hello, Dennis. 53, checking in.
53, you are sounding good, and we've got you checked in on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
All right, things are kind of in different spots. So if I look like I'm searching to do something, I probably am. And then hoping that I don't do that wrong thing. Where do I want? Page 3. Looking for SWL 54. Got a check in for Mr. Board Jammer. Also wanted to say hello to Crash 350. Saying hello, have a happy weekend, happy Thanksgiving to the tube radio operators and SWLs out there in western Pennsylvania. I was listening on the SDR. It's out of 3. I don't know where it's at, but man, those AM guys on the East Coast know how to do it. Big signals and some great roundtables. I don't think we have any conditions like that tonight. Over to SWL 55. SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. 56, just for kicks.
All right, looking good, sounding good. Thanks for the 8 weeks of SWL 00, and you get to take the beginning of the program off. You can you can sit there and not run up to the radio. Thanks. Oh, where are we going? Let's go to SWL 57. That's Brown Dog Audio out of Central Kentucky. Plus or minus the delay. Over to SWL 58. And hello to Up in the Balcony. Picking up some popcorn and some goodies. We'll be checking in with the Bob and Steve show coming up, see what they've got down in the green room tonight. Hello to, is it Byesville? I'm probably pronouncing that one wrong, where it's almost tomorrow. Clear with periodic clouds, 37 degrees up there in Ohio tonight. Thanks for jumping into the Old Tube Radio Network. Over to SWL 58. I'm getting Jeremy checked in. He made an appearance. He made a hit and run last night on the Ditch Banks sideband net, sounding good. Good to have him in town, and hope he can get everything done that he needs to do. And we're working on some type of a crafty little link up to get Jerry to be checking in with us. Over to SWL 59. SWL 60.
Thank you, Dennis. Evening time to the gang out there. SWL 60 checking in Big Jerry's base, the 291, the DX 2527.
All right, it's deja vu all over again. I know I heard this guy at the beginning of the net. We put the X in the square. The DX2527 radio is sounding good. We've got you checked in again.
Thank you, Dennis.
Let's see if I can make it out to near and far out. SWL 61. Dean may be out somewhere. I don't know. I may not be putting in a good signal out there enough tonight. And let's see, who is it? Next is King Duckford is in the house, checking in from North Dakota tonight. Hope everything is fine and dandy up that way. Over to SWL 63. That's Better Bean out there in North Georgia. I bet he was on Old Radio Night tonight. Like it Better Bean checked in. Over to SWL 64. Shortwave listener 65. SWL 66. SWL 67. Bill up there in Canby, Oregon. And what is going on? Let's see what's going on up in Canby tonight. 38. What's the altitude up there? That seems kind of chilly. But then again, you know, it's that time of year. Just gather around the old tube radios and stay warm. Got you checked in, Bill. And then over to Michael, SWL 68, checking in 157. Up there in New York, I think, right? Way the heck out there. Anyway, hope all is well on in your neck of the woods. Over to SWL 69. Ken in Tulsa. Kenny, if you're watching the video, we've got you checked in as soon as I click the button and turn the dial, and there you go. Thanks for joining us on the replay. All is going good here in Fresno. We're having typical Central Valley weather. It's kind of overcast and a little cold, and there's fog in the morning, and it hasn't been like that in a couple of years. And the usual weather is back. Also want to say hello to GWD Labs. I missed you when you stopped by earlier. We are trying to make things sound as good as possible. Over to SWL 70. Hold off with Mark. We chatted with him last night doing some audio stuff on the radios and some more audio stuff, and it all sounded pretty good. Over to SWL 71 Stan, trying to get on the Echolink, but having some connectivity problems, so he stopped by the YouTube video, and he is working the sweepstakes, the SS contest tonight. I don't know. Let me see. Where's my HF? Is anybody on 75? I don't have a good antenna. And 40 meters is full of noise. Yeah, it's just noise. So, all right, let's turn that down. Don't need all that noise anyway, Stan. I got you checked in. Over to SWL 72. Shortwave listener 73. We've got a check-in for SWL 74. Hello, Miss Jilly. SWL, who's next? 75. I guess that would follow after 74. SWL 77. SWL 78. I did see Richard up there in Wildemar. I got the pleasure of having my 40-meter noise go away and getting to chat with Richard up on, or down on, is it up on, or it depends if you're talking band-wise or frequency-wise, over there on 40 meters after the net. And he put in a big signal, put in a good signal into Fresno, and he was copying my less than stellar station here from Wild Wildemar, and doing pretty good out there by Lake Elsinore. We talked to a guy who's in Lake Almanor, which is way north of here, and then there's Lake Elsinore, which is south, so never the two shall meet. And let's see, you're doing the Yacht Club and Swap Meet. Hopefully there's some good radios at the Swap Meet. Anyway, thanks, Richard, for joining us tonight. Look for you on 40 Miachos here in the not-too-distant future. Over to SWL 79. SWL 80. And what is going on? There was a big flash of light up in at the balcony. I just want to make sure that check in with Albert. I see if the popcorn machine didn't blow a fuse up there. What are you guys doing? All right, stay safe. It smells good. It doesn't smell like burning popcorn. So I think we should be okay.
27.085 OTR channel 11.
All right, before I turn the page, let me jump up and down, actually, see what Bob and Steve are doing tonight. Always doing something exciting, as long as there's a Costco card to help out. Episode number 90, can you believe it? For November 20th, 2021. Thank you, Bob and Steve. The Jingle Singers have everything set up around the pool for Thanksgiving. Black Friday follows. I may have to restrict the Black Friday Costco card deals. We will see. They're changing everything over to Christmas on Saturday. I was in Costco the other day, and the cookies, maybe that's where that tin is from. The cookies are out, and the turkeys are out as well. Only 35 days away. Wait a minute, that can't possibly be right. Well, maybe. We we may need a crane or a truck to put up the tree. Wait a minute. What happened to the nice little, go to the corner place and get that 6-foot, 7-foot tree that actually fits into the Buick? Well, you've seen the limousine, so maybe they're going to get something to put in that. I don't know. Hopefully we don't have to put in another electrical service to light this tree. There's popcorn and cider up in the balcony. There's a lot of stuff going up in the balcony. That's why I see very few people in the front row here tonight. They're all up in the balcony doing stuff. No Fresno State game tonight. They are playing Thursday at 12:30 Pacific time. And we have a New Mexico and Boise State playing on the big screen right now. That should be a good contest. And we'll have a full spread for the veterans on Thursday. Good deal. At the pool tonight and in the Green Room Lounge, Omaha steak and baked potatoes. I'm in for that one. It was such a big hit last time. Yes, it was. They actually gave me some extra plates, which I put in the refrigerator for leftovers, and I'm glad I will be back. Such a big hit last time that they're doing it again. Thank you, Omaha Steaks. Potatoes were good. Maybe that's what I'm smelling. Maybe that's with the popcorn. Please join us after the net, as always, and like we used to say, and we always say, don't forget to feed the fish.
27.085 OTR channel 11.
Those are going to be some well-fed fish. Let's head over to page 4, SWL 81. Steve Areno from the secret location. If you're listening, Steve, we will get you checked in. Got you checked in. SWL 82. I think I'm supposed to proxy Ron in tonight. Maybe you did a take 2 on the races. It got fogged out last week. It is not foggy at all. In fact, it looked like it was going to rain. Did get to see the lunar eclipse. There was clouds, and then I got up, woke myself up, and looked up in the sky after midnight. And it was like, there's a shadow on the moon. And then I went back to bed. So we got to see that here in the Central Valley. Over to SWL 83, SWL 84. And Jerry puts in, he's got a great signal on the noontime Jefferson net. Let me do the official lighting, the ceremonious lighting of, did it come on? Yeah, okay. My replay, I'm watching a replay and it's way behind. So where is my internet? My internet is lagging. It's sagging tonight. Hope everybody is tuned in where they need to be. So we've got that going. And get you checked in, Jerry. I'm gonna check in on that 7204 net. Find a way to sneak in. I'm not sure what the protocol is, but he must be running horizontal because he puts in a better signal on 11 meters than he does on 40. Over to SWL 86, 87, and 88. That's Mountain Maid, Candy Girl, and the Snowy Owl. Got them proxied in. Over to SWL 89. Shortwave listener 90. And there is SWL 40. Larry, I see you. Sometimes when you're in the basement, I got to be able to look up the balcony and down to the basement. Got you checked in 785. And what was your note? Did you have a note for me there? Well, if you did, I don't. And proxy in 73. Okay, I'll do that. That's Mr. Music Instructor. You know, he might be doing the contest. He'd probably doing the CW portion of the sweepstakes. Okay, back to my page, and we should be going over to SWL 91, and that is Mr. Felix checking in from New York, and there is Felix with and he's got the turkey too. He is ready to go. I don't know if you can fit any more of the little memes on that line. Got the check, got the turkey, got the applause, and what appears to be as close as one can get to an old tube radio. Thanks. Over to SWL 92, SWL 93. SW95, beautiful, I believe it's Orlando, checking in. Yeah, from Orlando, Florida, saying good evening. Thanks, Bruce, for checking into the Old Tube Radio Network. Making sure I didn't forget anything. Over to SWL 96. Hello, Dennis.
Hello, Dennis. How are you doing? You guys have a great Thanksgiving, and this is 96, and I'm checking in.
All right, we are doing well. It's good not to have the noise. Are you picking me up okay?
Yeah, hearing everything just good.
All right, and that is a good deal. Thanks for checking in. SWL 96 is in. Over to SWL 97, Boston 97 tonight. And looking for Tracy, SWL 98. Up around Friant, I believe. Let's see if Robert is in SWL 99. And I'm going to give Tony a shout on Echolink. Hello, Tony, KD4BAO from KB6GFD. Heard him earlier.
Good evening, Dennis. Please check in SWL 100, KD4BAO.
All right, and the audio is sounding good. All right, the audio is sounding good, back to where it should be, and we will get 100 checked in. Hope all is going well in South Carolina tonight. Thanks for listening. KB6GFD. All right, Tony is in.
Have a good evening, KD4BAO.
We're in the triple digits. Let me put the X in the square as it were. Over to SWL 103. SWL 109. Shortwave listener 110. And checking in earlier, Robert, SW1 111. Do I have? I guess I have the crossband up. Sometimes I set it up and I turn it down, and then I forget to turn it up, and I miss people checking in. Let's go over to Tom, SWL 113. What do they call him? The guy with no friends. They always introduce him as on the Wednesday night, and that is the guy with no friends. But Tom, we're your friends here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Let's see if Wayne is around. SWL 114.
114, checking in.
Wow, good signal. Good signal. Sounding good on my radio tonight. Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you for the check-in.
And yeah, somebody's looking at my S meter. The S meter that you're seeing is broken down there. It's doing something, but it's not. If you're looking at on the replay trying to see your signal and wonder why it's not there, it's because I needed something to fill that hole in the video, so the S meter is still there, but it's not the right one. Let's head all the way over to SWL 128. Out there in beautiful Fairfax, Virginia. All right, John, we got you checked in, and thanks for the Waukesha pronunciation. He's probably face-palming right now. He's still not getting it right. No, I'm doing good. I'm trying. Over to SWL 131.
131 checking in. Right here.
Right, what do they say? Right here and right now. Boy, sounding good. Big signal here into OTR tonight. You must have hooked up to the TV antenna, pointed it this way. And you're blocking out channel 30 and 24. Thank you, 131. Over to SWL 133. Well, all right. Sounding good, Dave. Good signal in here tonight into Midtown Fresno. Way above the noise. We got you checked in. And Cornbread reminds me that the S meter is doing a no check-in. Cornbread is doing a no check-in. He's not checking in. I asked Cornbread, are you checking in? And you know what he said? He said, no, I'm not checking in. So he's in good company because the S meter is checking out as well. Got 133 in. Let's go over to SWL 135.
SWL 135 checking in.
All right, now you are checking in and doing it well. Thank you, Cliff. Looking for SWL 137. Shortwave listener 145.
Well, good evening, Dennis, and all the SWLs. 145 checking in. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
And likewise, up there in Corscold, Tony, you are sounding most excellent. Is that the same radio as always? You've got it right on.
Yeah, it's the one I've been checking in on Fridays with lately.
Okay. Put a post-it on that. You've got it dialed in. The audio is good. And it is what do we say? It's a keeper. Doing good stuff. Thanks for checking in.
And thank you for running the net.
The glow-in-the-dark radios are coming right up. Don't go away if you've got one and it's warming up. We will be checking in with you soon. If you've got one and it's not, think about, you've got another hour. Think about plugging that thing in and heating up the room and giving us a call here at the Old Tube Radio Network. Let's go over to SWL 147 out in Kakalaki, about as far away from California as you can get, right? Checking in. Had Fresno in his receive this afternoon. Oh, interesting. Couldn't get back, though. What's the matter? Don't you guys want to contact on the East Coast? I think we do. Maybe our ears were getting plugged. I'm not sure what frequency it was on, but sometimes I'll go to lower 38, and there are at least 8 conversations going on at the same time, simultaneously and at the same time. So you gotta pick and choose. And you go up to 10 meters, and you know what? There just isn't anything. There's a beacon or two. So we might have to work something out. Anyway, Neil, thanks for checking in and at least trying to get noticed here down in Fresno. We will do better. All you 38 lower guys, listen in for Neil. He is one of the guys that's been checking in for a long time here, and he knows about old tube radios. So give him a call when you hear him out there. Let's head over to SWL 188.
Good evening time, Dennis. Good evening time to all SWLs. 188 checking in.
Sounding good, Bobby. I've got the X in the square, and thanks for joining us on the old Tube Radio Network tonight.
10-4, thank you.
Up we go to... Oh, I got a radio check from this station earlier, and he was sounding pretty good. I wonder if he's still there. SWL 195, hello, Jim.
195 checking in, Dennis. Different microphone. The other one kind of failed on me.
Yeah, we know what they say. It's not a failure. It's a feature. It's a feature of that microphone to not want to work as well as it should. This one is working quite well. Good audio and a nice signaling here to Net Control tonight. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Dennis. You guys have a good evening.
And let's go up to Shockwave, the superstation up on the hill. He might not be up there tonight, but anyway, we have a shout out to Jeff, SWL 226. Mr. Shockwave, get him proxied in. He was out on the Ditch Banks sideband last night. Oh, I guess I should mention before we go into the tubes, Ditch Banks sideband net on Friday nights, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 27,365. That's 36 lower. Look for Mr. Bones at the Net Control Microphonium. He's got a great receiver. He will hear you anywhere in the valley, and if the skip is running, he will check you in as well. So stop by there. For amateur radio operators, check out the 10-meter Central Valley net here. We will be listening for you as well. That's the Central Valley net on 10 meters at 28,445 upper sideband, of course, on Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m., and you will hear some of the famous OTR voices, probably not mine, but that do Net Control as they take turns on that 10-meter net on Wednesday evenings at 8 on 28,445. And when the band is open, they'll get you checked in as visitors as well. Speaking of visitors or other check-ins, before we go to Tube Radios, I am listening. This is OTR. All right, I heard a key up but no audio. For anybody who needs to check in before we go to the Tube Radios. All right, I'm going to do what I need to do. Run around and pull some plugs and flip some switches. Check with that man behind the curtain, and we'll be back with your glow-in-the-dark radios on the Old Tube Radio Network. And you are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by OTR. Brought to you by 27.085 megahertz. Brought to you by the Old Tube Radio Network.
You gotta love RADIO. The Old Tube Radio Network, beaconing and beaming from the Central Valley, 27085 Channel 11, oldtuberadio.net on your Universal Media Netweb, and somewhere there's a YouTube video playing, replaying the tube radios as they check in tonight. My name, Dennis, Net Control Operator for the Old Tube Radio Network. We've been doing this for 35, 36 years, thanks to our tube radio operators. And I'm looking for, where is the, oh, they're pointing. Okay, it's right in front of me. For our proverbial sponsor tonight, the pen that will go into the pocket protector. And tonight, we're brought to you by RCA Whirlpool. That's all it says. This is a really nice pen. A Scripto? I can't tell. Durapont? I can't. It is tiny little writing on a silver background with no marks. But I will check that. Maybe can I get the Wacko close-up camera? Where is the Wacko close-up camera? Here it is. There it is. RCA Whirlpool. Isn't that? Is it cool? It's red and silver, and it's super heavy. I will stick it into the pocket protector here, and then we will be ready to go. You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. We are looking for radio number 1. Over.
135, 135.
60, Dennis.
All right, let's start with those two. Joe, jump into the green room. We will be right with you. You'll be radio number 2. And heading up into the air chair tonight is Mr. Green Arrow at a couple minutes after 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Hello, radio.
Hello, radio.
And take a transmission, sir.
Okay, let's do this then. SWL 135 here on a radio from beautiful downtown Burbank, California, made in the U.S. of A. This is the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A, 24 channels, no waiting, with the original General CM3, it's Charlie Mike -3 microphone, unamplified handheld plastic type microphone. Back to you.
Sounding good. I'm putting the picture up for the video, and this doesn't happen too often because the Super MC11A is one of the favorites here on OTR, and Chris usually is very good about getting his checked in week after week, and we use the picture that I'm showing now for those that are over at oldtuberadio.net or the video. And this is from the radio desk of Cliff, Green Arrow, who we're chatting with now. And so I'm going to surmise that we are now actually viewing the radio that we are hearing when it comes to a Super MC11A. Over.
Yep, this is the one as seen on TV. This is that very radio. I heard a lot of comparisons with the Cam 88, to the MC11A as far as loudness and stuff goes. So I thought I'd check in this one and maybe try to compare how the two sound. I forgot to mention there are 9 tubes. There's 9 tubes in this thing, which is one less than the Cam 88 has. But I think it's still enough to do the job. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yes, it is. What did we say? Somebody was talking earlier on the chat about 11 meter speak. So I will do my best 11 meter speak to say that you are wall to wall and treetop tall.
Hey, Roger Dodger. And hi out there, Chris. Yeah, I was hoping you'd be out there and hopefully you got yours out here too. And we'll compare. I think his is louder than mine, but they're both still pretty good radios. They're rough, they're tough, and they're up to snuff. With that, I'll go ahead and let the channel roll, unless there's anything else you'd like to know about it. Back to you, Dennis.
I think we're good. If you watch the video replay and there's an S-meter on the screen, don't pay any attention to the S-meter because it's not representative of the signal coming in. So what I did was I put on the Orban loudness meter and let it sit there for a little bit so it shows up with some type of LKFS number, and then you can compare the two numbers for loudness. So that's the best I can do on that. But to sounding good, and it's our first radio to start off. We'll do the comparison coming up. So thanks for that. And Chris will probably have his in tonight as well. So it might be a general radio telephone evening. You just never know. All right. Stepping up into the air chair is SWL60. Hello, Mr. Hustler.
37 on the side.
Thank you, Dennis. I'd like to check in my messenger. Doggone it. I hope we're warm enough, and I hope she's broadcasting.
Yeah, sounds like it's right there. Might even do a frequency check. I think I can do that with what I've got on up here tonight. I will go through the Rolodex to find Elmer Fudd, E.F. Johnson, and look for the Messenger 223. That's the radio I think Jerry is working on. Let me find a representative shot here. And there it changed. Boy, my internet is slow tonight. Somebody was saying there was some latency issues. I bet it's on my end, and I don't know why. Probably because I'm just not paying them enough. You know, they guarantee you something, and it works for a while. Maybe I need my car registration renewed. All right, there we go. I found the picture. Take a transmission. You are sounding good.
Thank you there, Dennis. Doggone it. My Johnson Messenger 223. All of 10 tubes. We are broadcasting back towards your way on this original stock microphone. My little base station, I should call it. It's not mobile. It's strictly base. And a well-lit little radio. Going back to you.
It is. It's a good radio. It comes from good bones from the Messenger 2, E.F. Johnson Company. We haven't talked to Radio Ham Guy, to Larry, in a while. I'm sure if he hasn't been doing many YouTube videos, but he used to work at Johnson. He was one of our first contacts on Echolink. And I remember what he said. He said they were really well-built radios. It was a great company to work for. And what he said was that if there was anything that was going to fail, it would be the crystals. He said they had a lot of sets that had, I wouldn't call it a failure, but they would drift off frequency. So your next transmission, I'll go ahead and I think I can do a frequency check here and see exactly where you're at. Over.
I appreciate that. Yeah, doggone it, Dennis, every time we fire this one up, it's one of our favorites. It's a well-built radio. You're right about that. And it is a heavy little rascal for its size. But doggone it, we're happy and glad that you let us key this one up. And when we get a chance here, we'll key up another one.
All right, good. You're our second radio tonight, and I just flipped over. You are right on frequency, maybe 30 cycles low. I mean, if I go to sideband, you're perfectly copyable. I can zero bit it, but I don't have to go far. So that, whatever crystal you've got is worked well. That radio could be 1969, 1970, 71, 72, so not bad. I wish I was that on frequency for being that old. Take another transmission. Thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you, Dennis, for allowing me to do this little radio. Doggone it, we're always real happy to turn this one on because this belonged to a special friend of mine. Okay, Dennis, we'll let the old channel rock and roll. We'll put this old Messenger, Johnson Messenger, back on the quiet side.
All right, very good. Chris, you'll be next. Jump into the air chair, but before we do that, I wanted to bring out the old tube radio list and the break OTR. Go ahead, over. Hey, no problem. We got you checked in. I figured there was some type of Saturday evening function that was going on, but I know how you are, and you do not miss an episode of the Old Tube Radio Network, and you are checked in.
Thank you, Dennis.
And back to the Tube Radios. I want to say hello to, make the rounds here. XOR is back, listening in. Another KB6. I'm a KB6 as well, up there in Reading. I've been talking to a guy up in Lake Almanor. Puts in a really good signal. One of the Voodoo Audio guys up on 7.199, Mark. And having a great time and learning. I'm relearning how to set up my Voodoo Audio. And he's not too far from you up in Reading, so I'm sure we could get, if you do 40 Miatros, we could link up with you there. RDV. Where are we going? Oh, I've got to check in a radio. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Dennis.
I get carried away. My job as net controller is to stop talking and start checking in radios. What have you got?
Well, I heard Cliff over there, our Green Arrow, with that radio over there. Yeah, it just sounds so darn good. I had to get in there, give him comparisons.
I think so. And we have a lot of fans of the General Radio Telephones because they're actually hard to find. I was listening to some of the guys saying because they were made here on the West Coast, up in Burbank, they don't seem to have a lot of them out in the land of, Trams and Brownings and everybody else that wasn't made in California. So there's a little bit of radio envy going on. Go ahead and take a transmission. I'll go back to the Rolodex. We'll put that picture up again.
Okay. Well, anyway, Dennis, I would like to check in my General Radio telephone, my Super MC11A, the 24-channel version of all this, with the, I guess you'd call this the original handheld stock microphone. And as he said, 9 tubes, no waiting. Well, you have to wait till they get warmed up. But anyway, we know that. But it just, like he said, it keeps on ticking. And, well, he said, I forgot how he says, but I use mine like a Timex. Takes a licking and just keeps on ticking. Every once in a while I have to go to slap, but it just loves it. He just says, thank you, Chris. I needed that,
But you do it in a kind and gentle way so that we can enjoy the radio in future episodes. Yours is definitely loud. I just don't know. I wonder if you got the one of the many that just it can't not be loud. Yours is a little bit more, what should I say, in your face. Cliff's is a little bit more mellow, but yes, they are both stock audio and both very loud. I'm just checking. They may be plate modulated with that CLL 800 tube, but take another transmission.
Okay. Well, I heard him in there, and I had to get this in here. I come in here, and I heard him. And when I heard him say I just knew what he was doing right away, so I had to get over here and turn this thing on real quick. Like he said, it is movie night. As well, me and the wife, we like watching movies on weekends.
That's a good thing to do. Watch a movie, check in a radio, and have a good time. Radio number 3, the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A. 9 tubes, if I didn't mention it before. 6-volt tubes, a 12AX7A for the mic preamp, of course. Got to have that good audio. And the ECLL 800 in the modulator output. There's also 2 transistors in there, and that's probably for some type of a DC conversion to run off 12 volts, which I think it will do. Sounding good, Chris. Thanks for bringing by the radio.
You betcha, Dennis, and as always, we thank you the most for you're the ones that sit there and listen to all of us maniacs out here that love these radios. Thank you, Dennis, and take care. And I hope you have a good turkey. You're going to eat turkey somewhere, hopefully.
Yeah, I actually had some Thursday night. We had a meeting of the Society of Broadcast Engineers, and one of the local engineering company sponsored a dinner and was over at Channel 18, Valley PBS. So we got a nice tour of the studios and a turkey dinner. So if I miss out coming up, at least I've already had mine. So good deals. Speaking of missing out, we don't want to miss out on the OTR Jingle Singers, and so let's do that now so that they can get some of that steak and potatoes going on in the green room.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
The station for you is OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network, and we are listening for radio number 4.
45.
Hey, Paul, I hear you. So don't go away. You are going to be Radio 4 at around 9:18. And before I check in with you, I do want to go to Jimmy, SWL 34, who is out there staying up late, as always, here on a Saturday night to make sure that he can check in with us on the Old Tube Radio Network. And also... Little Toot isn't. Let me see. Let me grab. Where is the whistle? Uh-oh. They're hiding it from me. They say this guy doesn't know how to do the whistle. All right, I'm going to try again. We're getting ready for a check-in here. Let's see if we can. All right. Whoa. I'll give myself a C- on that one. Anyway, we got 34 checked in. I just want to make a little noise. I don't have a Roger beep. That's about the best thing I have. Maybe I should have it go every time I unkey. Paul, are you still with us? Over.
Now, I was there in here I am. Let's check it in. By Utica Town and Country, MC7.
All right, the Utica Town and Country Master Control, or MC27. I will go through the Rolodex and see if I can find that. The copy's a little rough. The signal is there. The audio is down, but it came up. So we'll keep an ear out, as it were. I'm looking for the radio. I'm pretty sure we have it in our files. I think it's one of the earlier versions. Okay, and do we have one from you? Yes. We've got one from Phil. We've got an advertisement. We've got all sorts of stuff. Let's start with the radio that actually says it's the one on your shelf here, and bring that picture up. There it is. Cool-looking radio. Give us maybe you're using that microphone. Maybe that's why I can hear you so well. Take a transmission. Over.
I was told the microphone had a trouble with everything on this radio. There's trouble about it. I thought that I was sure that N plus 2 unit microphone. Not stop. I don't never need to stop microphone that you're lucky. Well, anyway, you see, you hear me. It's not too bad. It's not too low. I was hoping the modulation would take care of it, but it's not. Anyway, if I got something to say about it, I'll follow up with you there.
All right, it's there. That was a good transmission, 100% on the audio and good signal. Utica Town and Country, 1960 through about 66. I know these radios were early players in the Class D 11-meter scene. Wow, $189.50. That was a lot of money back then. The case sort of reminds me of the E.F. Johnson, that nice square chrome case. And speaker right in the front, real easy to use, squelch volume and a channel control. That's what 11-meter Class D was about, just getting on the air, not very technical. You don't need an S-meter reading, but you need to talk to your base unit or your mobile unit. 6 crystal-controlled channels, and it will go 115-volt AC, 12-volt DC, and a portent to the reason that it's an early radio. It also is available in the 6-volt DC configuration. Back to you, Paul, for a transmission, if you can hear me. Over.
Okay. Thanks, Sometimes it does. But I think you got back there just about right. Just like you got a hold exactly where you want it. I think I'm on it now. That's the deal radio. This is a special. That's it's hard to read the deal, but it's got to touch your special. It doesn't say on the nameplate, but below, channel control, you can't read it on this one. Chris got one. Chris has one, I think. He has another one. Yeah, this has got a very basic radio. I want to push the communication to come in. One of the smaller ones. They had to bring those afterwards. Thanks for listening.
All right, thanks for bringing it by. Yeah, good signal. The audio is a little bit low, but it's good quality when it is there. I've got a little bit of noise tonight, but you're cutting through quite well. Radio number 4, early 60s, Class D, Town and Country. This was the MC27, no doubt from 27 megacycles, perhaps. Doing a good job on OTR for Radio 4. And Dwayne, I saw your question about the potatoes. You know, Bob and Steve always strive to have the finest and best. So if it turns out that the potatoes are not from Idaho, I'm sure we will hear about it. But no doubt they sent out the produce people to get the biggest and the best, and I'm sure they've got the Idaho spuds for sure. The Old Tube Radio Network. Hello to who's listening up there in Truckee, up there in the balcony. Joining us tonight, the Old Tube Radio Network, where we check in classic tube radios. Thanks to our tube radio operators, we are looking for radio number 5.
Can I be 5?
You can be radio number 5, sir. You sound very good into net control this evening.
I'm holding up one hand and I'm saying I'm this many. I'm 5. Hey, number 20 on a Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, unamplified D104. Yes, I have the modulator on, so Paul can hear me up in the hills.
We can hear you here in Midtown. No problem, sounding good, and it is playing well with the Harvey range boost. Doing some good audio, not doing any really wacky stuff. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm kind of in a different configuration tonight. I might have less power, but you were doing good. So this is not. Well, no, it's not the R68 T68 showing the Mark III. Take a transmission. Tell us about the Mark III. Over.
This is my off-the-shelf radio that I acquired along with a Chem 88 that stayed at my place for a couple of days and is now somewhere else. And a helicopter CB3 or 3A, which after I'm done with this, I will go into that one and make sure it's okay, and basically I want to sell it around here, keep it running local. This one fell off a shelf and I had to kind of hammer it back into shape.
Oh yeah, this is the one, this is the Humpty Dumpty set that took a great fall, and I know those of us who are just imagining that. I don't know if you were there for the event, if you got to hear the crash, or if you just happened upon it, or maybe you had nothing to do with it, just had to find the knobs and the pieces.
No, I wasn't there. The gentleman said, well, I got these from Dave. I think his number's SWL 133. Got them from him. He's thinning out the herd, and he had a stampede, and he came my way. This one, I pounded it back into shape, I guess. Did a little other work on it, fixed a few things. But then last week, it kept cutting out. And man, I went through it, and I couldn't find it. I thought I had it talking to Cliff today for quite a while, and then it did it again. I think I found it again, and hopefully it'll keep working. I'm going to hold on to it for about another 2 weeks. You'll need to proxy me in next week. Then the week after, I'll run it, and hopefully if it stays functioning properly, it'll be for sale around here. I hate shipping, but I think it'll probably find a home around here somewhere. Everything appears to work on it, even the sideband. Not super great. I mean, it's not going to be a world beater on sideband. It kind of drifts a little bit, as most of them do, except, as you remember, my transmitter on my other one. But the AM works, receiver works fine, transmitter, when it's working, sounds like this. Going with it will be amped or unamped D104, kind of whatever the person wants. And if I can find a banana mic that will work fine, I might have that go with it, but we'll see. Anyway, kind of a long buzzer transmission, just to see, and frequency didn't move. I should be really close.
You are close. During that transmission, I switched over to the, as the AMers like to say, the slop bucket side, but we have some great sideband operators. So I'll say, went to the sideband, upper, lower, not too far off, maybe, I don't know, 50, 60 cycles, very close. The transmitter should have some way to rock within FCC specs your signal, your frequency just a bit, and I think you've got it dialed in quite nicely. The audio is nice and loud, nice and clear. When you go to sideband, you're just as loud, and you're getting a lot of thumbs up on the comments for what a great sounding radio. Over.
Roger, appreciate it. One of the few things left to do on this is the speaker was all torn up, so he put in, instead of a 4x6 oval, there's a 4x4 round speaker in there, and it's got a plastic mount to extend it so it could bolt upright. I should have a speaker somewhere for it. I'll try and find it. If not, I'm going to order one, because this isn't leaving without the proper speaker. All the crystals are on well enough, so with the fine tune or VFO on the transmitter, you can nail each channel right on. Not a problem. Of course, that might require a frequency counter, but as everybody knows, crystals, don't stay on frequency. But this one, while talking, isn't drifting. I show 0850, and I can go up to, I think, 0855 with this crystal in it, and go down to 0843, I believe. So, not too bad.
No, not too bad indeed. I just switch over to sideband. You're just slightly off, and it doesn't sound like you're drifting. I don't have the nice SDR-style radio where you can actually see the picture of you drifting away. I believe the Browning is plate modulated, right?
Correct. I have to adjust the modulator. Come here. There we go. My modulator goes up the longer I talk, and I don't want any feedback. Yes, it is plate modulated, 6BQ5, which, believe it or not, I hope, was the problem. I had an intermittent short in the 6BQ5 modulator. So I put another one in. And yes, I'm going to tell this story. Won't take too long. Well, when I would tap on the radio with the old tube in there, it would cut out, then come back on, cut out power-wise, and then back up. And I went through the whole file area, everything that I could think of. I changed relays, I did all kinds of stuff. Nothing. Well, then I tapped near the 6BQ5, and boom, that seemed to be it. So I replaced it, took the back of a fairly large screwdriver, and there's a large open piece of part of the chassis in between the 6BQ5, 7558 final, and the relay. So I tapped on the chassis and got a little aggressive, real hard. I mean, I was really tapping hard, more like pounding. And then, no problem, worked great. And then all of a sudden it cut out. And I went, darn, didn't find it. Then I really looked, and I was tapping so hard, I popped the 7558 final right out of the tube socket.
Man, you were doing your Fred Astaire impersonation, doing that tap dancing on the Browning. And then Ginger Rogers came up. It sounds good. Well, it's good you can Sherlock these things. Get it back on the air. It sounds good. You know, your plate modulated radio is always great for taking what they say in the business is an old buzzard transmission here on YAM radio. In fact, I was on 40 meters this morning with a big station out there in Grass Valley, Dave out in Grass Valley, and he was taking some great old buzzard transmissions. So what comes around goes around. I'm glad you have tap danced your way into the Browning. It's sounding quite nice, and we are marking it in as radio number 5 on its second appearance here on the Old Tube Radio Network. That will work well, I think.
Okay, the General Super MC11A ECLL 800 3-section tube, audio frequency output for receive, audio out on receive, transmit. I believe it's a double modulator. I look at the schematic and I see it that way. It's a 3-section tube. Phase inverter, audio frequency output, and modulator. But 2 sections of the tube say audio frequency output, and modulator. 2 sections. So maybe it's a double modulator. A lot of these companies tried to kind of copy each other. The Tram Titan 2, I think, and the 2A have 2 6BQ5 modulators, audio frequency output tubes and modulators. So, I mean, that works good. And the General Radio Telephone Super MC100 that I have, the prototype, also has twin 6BQ5 modulators. So, there you go. Copied each other. Alrighty. I'll turn it back to you. Don't forget to proxy me in next week in case I don't get back in time.
All right, will do. Thanks for the Radio 5 great transmission. And there is a suggestion, and I don't know if you're an audio guy, but you might know that the replacement, or a replacement for the 6BQ5A, and Richard out of Wild Wildemar says that the EL, the Echo Lima 84, a European replacement, and possibly a better tube. And I don't know if Greg, has in his books replacements. I know Greg does a lot of audio tube comparing, this sound and that sound. So, yeah, this might not be the radio you want to do the sound quality on, but, if you ever had the EL84, you could put it in there and check it out. Radio number 5, the Old Tube Radio Network, Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, their great run on the Mark III from 1972 to 1976, when it went to 40 channels and they had to come up with something different, which they did, the Mark IV. Prices on these radios, it was the price of a good Pinto wagon, a good used car, $600, $700, $800 by the end of the run. So you had to go to the X-File and say, okay, we can either get the Browning radio, or we're gonna buy that used Ford Falcon, so you can go to the grocery store. Thanks, Harvey, for the transmission. The radio is really sounding good. Hopefully you can hear the replay, and the audio is nice. It works well with the range boost. Just not a speck of oscillation anywhere.
25. Okay. The EL84 designation.
We get you guys stand by.
Quote, made tubes. It says 6BQ5 EL84. A lot of the European ones just said EL84. The Russians made, and I can't pronounce the number because my Russian is a little rusty right now, but they make 2 or 3 kind of type versions of the tubes that they used, and they are a little fatter, and they're not that bad. Also, you can kind of sub, I think, a 7189, 7189A, which I have here sitting on the top of the radio right now. Later on, I'm going to test it and see what I can do. The 6BQ5 I put in only tests at about 75%, but it works a lot better, and so far hasn't cut out. I won't bang on the radio to test it right now. Okay, take care. We'll be out.
All right, no more Donald O'Connor and Fred Astaire tapping on the radio. Sounds good. Thanks for that. Let's see. The 23 Gadoo says, be careful if you use the EL84, that European replacement, because then you might find yourself talking with a British accent. 2 stations wanting to check in, or we've got Radio 6 and Radio 7. Let me make sure. We've got, hello, Jerry 25.
Yeah, Paul was in there too, but anyway, real quickly, checking in the Honecrafter CB3A little phone on the non-powered D104 microphone, and it's got the VFO and the signal strength meter on it on the front end of the thing, and hopefully you can hear me okay, Dennis, and hello, Paul.
And Paul, you'll be next. Paul, don't go away. You'll be Radio 7. The Charlie Bravo 3 Alpha, the CB3A, a well-advertised and big-selling radio for Hallicrafters back in 1962 and 63, when they jumped into the Class D market. Hallicrafters, of course, makers of fine boat anchors, the HT-37, the 32, the Hurricane, great receivers, televisions, and someone said, you know what? Why don't we get into this Class D 11-meter thing? It could be profitable, and it was for them. This is back when they were in Chicago. Later on, became a subsidiary of Northcraft Aircraft Corporation. And after that, I don't know what happened to them, but the CB 3A. Sounding good, always good audio. And yeah, we're showing just for those that are checking out the video. Let me get a closer screen here. They sold their radios like you'd sell a car. You know, back in the day, you'd sell a car and we would add radio, heater, white wall tires, and move the price up. So Hallicrafters was pretty smart. They sold the radio with no S meter and no variable receive, the VFO, but they had the two little rectangular punch outs on either side of the channel selector. So you could buy the meter for an extra $15 and buy the VFO, and I think you could wire them in there, take the top off. The top was pretty cool. It opened like a lunchbox. I mean, they knew that people would want to work on that. You don't want to be removing 35 screws to get the top off, and so you'd install those items, and you know, when you got your next paycheck, you'd be good to go. Sounding good on the Hallicrafters. Take one more transmission before you go. Thanks for bringing it by, Jerry.
All right, and it's my pleasure. Thanks for doing the net for 34 plus years. And yeah, it does have the VFO on the left side, and the channel selector, and of course the Sable strength receiver on the right-hand side of it. And anyway, that's about it, Dennis. Thanks for checking in. Oh, by the way, it does have excellent receive on it too. So anyway, and Paul, whatever he's keying up on, man, blew my doors off. I'm anxious to hear what he's got. Anyway, thanks, Dennis. Back to you.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Jerry, for checking it in. I do love the Hallicrafters. My very first shortwave receiver back in high school was the Hallicrafters SX25 Super Defiant. My DX AM broadcast band DX radio was the portable FM 1000, and somewhere down here, and I may have actually checked it in on OTR, was the HT37, and it's down on the floor is a bad thing, because I think that thing weighs about 85 pounds, so it may be staying on the floor for a while. You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark, something that happens here on Saturday evenings for the last 35 years, 36 years. It's amazing how much time flies when you're having fun. The Jingle Singers, and then we'll be talking to Paul up on the hill.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you, wherever you are. Your favorite slot on the dial by far is known to you and
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
And hopefully, wow, they sound like an old recording there. Hopefully the station for you is OTR. Hello, Paul. Can you hear me down here in Midtown? Over.
Yeah, I can hear you real well. By the way, Jerry, your radio sounded great. Well, I'm checking in on one that's reliable, a Robin T123.
All right, I'll get you, we'll go through the Rolodex, see if we can find a Robin. Boy, nice audio, good signal. It's got a little bit more beef than the last radio, but we like the town and country. And it is the 123. So that is, I think, before the Panasonic chassis. And the bonus, as we were about to see here, is that you have the winking, blinking magic eye tube take a transmission.
Yeah, I'm even talking on the original mic on this thing, watching that magic eye, which I love. Boy, it's showing how to sound it on the microphone, real neat. Anyway, I know you got to fill in on the thing, but go ahead.
All right, I think that's the 6RE13 tube where we're looking into the side of the tube. And as you modulate towards 100%, the illuminating items on the top and the bottom will come closer together and maybe even touch. That's not a bad thing. It is a 11-tube, 2 transistors transceiver, probably the 2 transistors to do some DC conversion. 12-volt DC and 115-volt AC. If you've got the proper cord, you can find out more about it in Sam's PhotoFax 35, page 95. But if you want to hear it, stay right here. Take another transmission.
Yeah, the front channel's easy to read. Channel vector SRF MOD meter is easy to read, and it changes colors of the thing. It's real pretty red along with the green on the other part. So it's very nice.
It's a nice ladies' radio. Back to you.
It is a nice radio. Putting in a good signal here tonight. Good, clear audio. Oh, if you told me the microphone you're using, I probably was writing and not listening. What microphonium are you using on the Robin T123? Over.
Yeah, the microphone is an MC-20 Japanese microphone. It's ceramic type. Back to you.
Yeah, good audio. Just and it's not overdone. Good highs and good lows. Let me do a close-up before we go. Chrissy is liking the green meters. It's a green channel selector. It's a green case of two. You know, she's partial to green radios up there in Idaho. Thanks for bringing it by, Paul. As always, doing a good job here on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Nice to have one that works real well, too. Thank you.
And we are looking for radio number 8 here on your Old Tube Radio Network. And let's see, the question of the evening, thanks to Cornbread, do you live to transmit or transmit to live? Now, it's those guys that are on the sweepstakes contest tonight are probably living to transmit, but I'm not sure. Yeah, what if it is a nice ladies' radio? And if you're not a nice lady, could you still use it? And the jingle singers are ready to go again. Well, you know, you can't have too much of them, so here we go.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you, wherever you are. The friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
I think we're getting reruns again. OTR standing by. And my antenna's not too good on the HF radio tonight. Seeing if I could hear any AM down on 3870 or 3885, and it's just a little bit too noisy. But we've got plenty of glorious AM right here on the Old Tube Radio Network, looking for radio number 8. The Bulldogs, Fresno State Bulldogs, taking the night off tonight. Everybody wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We will be on, post-Thanksgiving next Saturday evening.
Hello, does this thing work? Break OTR.
We have audio. I have the video. Go ahead for Radio 8, Cliff.
Yes, that is me. How did you know? Let's see. One more radio tonight, real quick. I thought I'd wait till the end so as not to annoy everybody. But this is my Cobra Chem 88 by B&K. all 23 channels, no waiting, 10 tubes in this one. Back to you.
All right, 10 tubes. We're gonna put up the 20-tube version of the Cobra Cam 88, only because we're showing two of them, and I think it's to display some differences between the range boost and non-range boost. I don't know. That radio's got some big beefy sound, got some good low-end audio. Not bad for a 5-watt DC input. Over. On that Cobra Cam 88.
Yeah, sorry, you went just a little bit too fast for me. I wanted to try this mic out real quick. This is the previous one was an amplified D104 with the Dynaboost on. This is a non-amplified D104. The Dynaboost is also still on. And I just wanted to get a record of this on OTR, and so I can really hear the difference myself. And while I've got you there, I did email you a picture of this. I sent it off. Don't know if you've received it, but I fired it away.
Oh, I will look for that when I figure out how to do my email once again. Go ahead and switch over if you want. Switch to the other microphone. I've got the Orban Mod loudness meter up, and I'm definitely sure that the other D104 will have a little bit more audio. The quality does not sound that bad at all with the non-amplified microphonium. Still got lows and highs. It just doesn't have the percentage of modulation or the gain, but it works well. I'm not sure if Harvey's hearing you way out there on the west side, but radio does a good job no matter what you're plugging into the microphonium.
Yeah, and it takes a while to do that too. Sorry it takes me so long to switch these out. You gotta screw that retention ring on there real good, or it messes up. Remember, on its maiden voyage, I think it was last week, I loosened it out for a quick microphone change, and it didn't like that at all. So sorry, I got to mess with this. And also, it's the little notch in there has to be on the bottom where I can't see it, and so it gets a little crazy. Oh, and it looks like I'm smack on frequency now. I think one of the pictures I sent you will show my freaky counter showing 0849, which is after it heats up usually where it sits. But yeah, when it cools off, it's like smack on 0850. At least according to my freaky counter. I don't know how much of that is the frequency counter being chilled by the night air or the radio, but there you have it.
Yeah, all right. Well, you know what? People are saying, here's Chrissy up in Idaho says she prefers the non-amplified sound. Now remember, it's being transmitted into the Universal Media Network through my receiver. I'm receiving you quite well, and I would not disagree with that, because the non-amplified version sounds a little bit more natural. The amplified version's got some gravelly lows and some highs, and it's being amplified. The non-amplified version just sounds like you. It's just, if you're looking for a comparison between, carrier and modulation percentage, it's not quite there. So if there was a way to get that unamplified microphone a little louder, you might be good to go, or maybe unamplify the one you've got now. Take a transmission. I will recheck the frequency here. I can't remember if I checked it last time you were on. We'll see how close it is. Over.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just marveling at the gear over here, and I thought, wow, hey, it's right on. sometimes you get excited about that. I don't know if you noticed, but the MC11A was actually the teeniest bit high. It was like 0853 or something like that. So again, just not enough to make any real difference, but depending on how bright your radio is. But this radio never ceases to amaze me, and I thought so too. I went back and listened to the pre-shows, stuff that we were doing. I found some of that, and I heard that too. I kind of liked. It did sound more natural, but you were also right. It just didn't have enough enough oomph, as it were. I'm curious. Is that the technical term?
I think that's a very good technical term. Did the frequency check. 84.8 is where I get the zero beat. And looking good. I was just doing the receive. I was clicking between a 6K filter and a 15K. I'm listening wider. I'm listening a little wider than 6K, but it really shines. I wish I had a picture of the frequency, the bandwidth, because I'm sure that's probably going a little wider than 6 kilohertz. Sounds good. Everyone likes the sound. The picture we're showing two. There's a mod light and a switch. So you must have the version that has the switch below the mod light. That is the range expand thingy over?
Yes and no. I've got the mod light, and the mod light is flashing away. The switch below there, it's on this radio. It's called Dynaboost. I'm pretty sure because, let me look. I'm out here in the dark, okay? Because it's made by Dynascan, right? So I guess they decided to call it the Dynaboost. And maybe she will blow her horn. Who knows?
Or you can let Harvey do a tap dance on it. All right, sounds good. Hopefully you'll be able to check out the video or the audio and give yourself a radio check, as it were. Again, if you see the S meter, pay no attention to the S meter because it is not hooked up to the radio that's receiving, but I needed that to fill that space. I did put the Orban loudest meter, and you can hear the difference. It sounds good. It sounds just like you, sort of. Radio number 8, the Cobra Cam 88. I'm just thinking if I got any info on when that was out and about. No, B&K Dynascan, Cam 88. So mid to late 60s, perhaps. Doing good. 23 channels. This was probably the top of the line radio for them at the time because it had all 23 channels, the S meter, and big stuff. So expect it probably to run about $200 or more. Thanks for bringing it by.
Hey, thanks for letting me check it in once again. Before I pack it away and try to keep the dust out of it. You know what you could put there in that place where you got the meters? You could put your kitty there. There's enough space there for kitties.
There is. My gray cat, Charlie Alpha Tango, is just not a radio cat. Not one of those real radio cats. It's more of a come into the radio room and make a mess, right? Tear something up so that I will follow him out and do what actually he wants to do. And a suggestion, just to put in your note box, from someone who has done it, the Cobra Cam 88 probably has a limiter, and they said they've done it where they remove or clip the limiter, they keep the Dynaboost off, and that non-amplified microphone will scream. But as we've discovered with the Cobra Cam 88s, the audio circuit is not restricted much at all. When you send low frequency out, you hear low frequency coming out. Not like the Brownings where they said, no, we don't want to hear anything below 200 hertz. We want to have that, like Bob Heil says, we want to have that articulation. Cobra says, hey, put whatever you want into it, and we'll make sure it gets out. It's up to you to keep it clean and put the compression on. Sounding good on the OTR neighborhood.
Oh, thanks again, Dennis. And we'll hopefully catch you next week after Turkey Day. If I don't get to talk to anybody else out there, happy Thanksgiving this coming week, everybody, and see you next time.
All right, 73. And Joey L., if you bought the Falcon back then, it would be somewhere in a rust pile. But if you bought the radio back then, you might be checking it in here on the 21st century in 2021. The Old Tube Radio Network, it's almost that bewitching time here. The Jingle Singers, are they ready again? They are having, I can't wait to get over to the green room and get some of that great steak and potatoes, popcorn upstairs. But in the meantime, let's say hello to the Jingle Singers.
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
Counting and amounting and looking for Radio 9.
Hey, Cliffy?
Yeah.
Hey, Cliff?
Yes.
The diodes in the Dynaboost, when the Dynaboost is off, that's like cutting them out of the circuit. I just looked at the schematic. If you keep the Dynaboost on and run the unamped mic, you should just either get into it or get away from it, etc., to vary it. But the way they did the speech clipper is it's in the Dynaboost and it's either in the circuit or out of the circuit by virtue of the switch.
Okay, I read an article about that too, where they said something about cutting a resistor off the bottom of the switch, and then after you do that, you run it with the Dynaboost off. And I can't remember if there was any more to the modification than that.
Well, the only resistor in the Dynaboost circuit is a 68K, and when the Dynaboost is on, it shorts that. No, when the Dynaboost is off, it's that resistor goes to ground. When the Dynaboost is on, the resistor is out of the circuit, and the diodes in the speech clipper circuit are in. That's according to the circuit.
Now, we'll have to fool with it here in the future and see what we can or cannot do. But I don't know if it's running okay with this. I might just stick with this mic.
No complaints here.
Is that the Mark III?
Yeah. Did you hear what I had to do to it?
Yes, I did. I was going to ask you about that later, but you explained it here on the air. So, I got to hear it because I was wondering, why did it cut out again? But it's sounding just blasphemous right now. It's sounding great.
Okay, well, the modulator's on. Anyway, I bounced to 7558 right out of the radio because I had the lid off, pounding down, and all of a sudden it cut out, and I looked real quick, and the 7558 was rolling on the bench, and I went, oh, I have a few extra, but no. So I stuck it back in, and so far so good. Okay, I got one more radio.
Oh, if you got one more radio, get it in, because we are about ready to count an amount. Over.
Contact.
But before that, we are going to head over to the SWL list and say contact. This is the Old Tube Radio Network. Go ahead.
Hey, Dennis. Hey, everyone. Good evening. Sorry for the late check-in, but requesting a late check-in 70, please.
All right, 70, requesting a late chicken, and it's not too late for a chicken. It may be too late for a turkey. You are sounding marvelous here on the Old Tube Radio Network, and you are checked in. Over.
The chicken will work. Chicken dinner. Thanks, man. Have a great evening.
And adding another item to my list of lists, the Old Tube Radio Network, heard every Saturday, almost every Saturday, on Channel 11 in the Central Valley of California, maybe beaconing, depending on the sporadic tropo conditions. Thanks to the Universal Media Netweb, oldtuberadio.net, and the video thing, it goes on and on and on. And your radios are the reason for that. Hello, Harvey.
Okay. The Browning Golden Eagle from Browning Laboratories, the R68, T68 model. And now I'm going to take my hand off the modulator. Ooh, no feedback. Oh, I'm going to step away. Oh, there's the feedback. I got to get something. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do this once in a while from, where is it here? Browning Laboratories. In Laconia, New Hampshire, not Flushing, New York.
And by way of northwest Fresno, the Golden Eagle by Browning, their first radio to have the Golden Eagle moniker, following the R27 S23. This is the R68 T68 before the Mark II, but the line goes on. Sounding good. You know, for audio, I'm going to have to say tonight, the Crash and Burn Humpty Dumpty Eagle is putting that one to shame. And I think it is probably a Harvey range boost thing. This one does not play well with it. The other one plays very well with it. And we're adding you into down as radio number 9 tonight.
Okay.
Right.
The other one, the Golden Eagle, the Mark III, when I key it up and the receiver dies and you're hearing the ping, I hear it too, and I hear a hum. This one, I key it up, no hum as the receiver goes away. But, hey, if the other one sounds real good, that's what I want.
Tube radio. Hello.
This radio. That
I'll be right with you, Break.
problem with why it,
Well, y'all have a grand evening with them old tube radios. I'm just checking in with my old Rolls Royce. Have a grand evening. USA, Fresno, USA, 663, working at old Royce. Have a good evening.
All right, and we are having a good evening. Thank you, 663 on the Rolls-Royce, and Harvey on the west side, Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68. I know it is a challenge sometimes, Harvey, to get all the wires and things. That's sort of the way it was this evening when I was setting up. Something happened, and I had to reconfigure and change all sorts of stuff, which required me to go behind the rack and start unplugging things and plugging things in. But that's what you got to do if you want to be on the air with a glorious YAM radio. I even had time to put on the seersucker suit and the pocket protector. So all is well. Over.
you got it. Okay. I'll let you go. Hopefully catch you next week. If not, the week after.
All right, yeah, catch us on the replay. Check in at oldtuberadio.net. And like they say, everyone have a great Turkey Day coming up. It is time. Mr. Announcer and the orchestra are ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
That's loud. The current and final totals. Are they done? Okay, they're done. The current and final totals here tonight in the Old Tube Radio Network. We had 16 check-ins on page 1. I'm sorry, 11 check-ins on page 1, 16 check-ins on page 2. How How many? I can't even read my writing. It looks like 14. Oh, I know why, because Mark checked in and I had to update it. 15 check-ins on page 3 and 22 check-ins on page 4 for a total of 64, something like that. This is the new 8-week roster, so those playing the home game, make sure you add Mr. Hustler, SWL60, to the 00 position. And on radios tonight, we had nine radios. The most heard manufacturer was, drum roll please, the General Radio telephones. Started off with the General Radio telephone, the Super MC11A. That was the one we always see the photo of, but we seldom hear. Tonight, it got to key up, or is that key down? I can't remember if you key up or key down, but anyway, sounding very good. Thanks, Cliff, for the General Radio telephone, Super MC11A. From beautiful downtown Burbank, E.F. Johnson, Messenger 223. Mr. Hustler on his E.F. Johnson, doing a good job with the Messenger 2 and all those extra crystals. And S-meter, radio number 3, the General Radio telephone, Super MC11A, the thrift store special, the one that we're used to hearing. Thanks, Chris, for jumping out of the theater mode and giving us that radio. From 1960-61, maybe our oldest radio of the evening, the Utica Town and Country MC27. Thanks, Paul. I know it was noisy up there tonight, but thanks for giving us a few radios. Harvey on the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB with the tap dance and the tubes all nestled back in their sockets and sounding quite nice. Radio number 6. The Hallicrafters CB3A from 1963. Thanks, Jerry, for that. That radio always fires up and sounds good, but then it's a Hallicrafters. The Robin T123, our only Magic Eye radio tonight. Thanks, Paul, for that. Sounding good. Cliff on the Cobra Cam 88, little AB microphonium test. It's about 50-50, 60-40 on non-amplified D104, amplified D104 with the range boost. I think they both sound good and can be manipulated to give you that mellifluous audio we all come to expect out of an old tube radio. And as you heard moments ago, the Browning Golden Beagle R68 T68 from Harvey, sounding quite nice. This is your old tube radio network. Nothing blew up. I was a little worried at the beginning because I was doing some different things tonight. Everybody seemed to hear me okay. So we'll say stay safe. Have a great Thanksgiving coming up, and we will catch you next Saturday on your old tube radio network. And get on the bands. The Cycle 25 is happening. Lots of activity here on 11 meters. If you are thinking about or perhaps studying for your amateur radio license, now is a great time to do it. There's going to be years and years and years of great propagation, and you won't need much of radio to partake of that. So think about it, won't you? Catch you later on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Good show as usual, Dennis. Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis. And happy Turkey Day.
Yeah, couldn't do it without the radios.
That's right. Even some of us older radios, but still don't have tubes, but 1976. Well, it's all USA. What can I say?
That's the classic stuff. Good old classic 23-channel radio or something that works. It works still.
Well, I did get a new microphone, so hopefully it helped out my modulation a little bit. Put one of them them D104 MB46, handheld thing.
It is loud. There is forward movement on the meter, and it is being just what it's supposed to do.
Well, that's good to hear. Well, once again, you have a grand evening on that old tube radio network. Well, I'm just on an old Royce. No tubes in the thing.
But sounding good. All right, good night, everybody. 73 from OTR. And these...
I sure did like that gentleman over there on that old Browning. Them things are sweet. Them old R23 or R27, S27. Yeah, sweet rigs.
All right, stand by. The glowing 6L6 will be safe to touch momentarily.
I'll wait to hear another set of Mark 2s, Mark 3s with that
1.
That electrolytic swing. Yeah, like that. Beep, beep. That makes my day. I like hearing them old Brownings like that. Yo, use them birds. Them things fly. Them old technicians from long ago.